It is wrong actions where we break the rules of the scriptures. So the scriptures are telling us how to move from tamogun to rajagun to sattvagun, the mode of goodness. And vikarma means do as your senses say. At the end of life, when you have to account for your sins, it is not a question of let this queen come. It's a question of the Jivatma. Say, okay, if you are not interested in meeting God right now, something is better than nothing. Tie yourself up in all these rules. Now, of course, since you want the world, you will fulfill the rules. So you will at least remain in the Vedas. You will remain disciplined. You will not become frivolous. You will keep on doing karma. So the karma is praised from the perspective that something is better than nothing. But then after you have been doing karma for so many lifetimes, and you realize, ultimately it just takes you to Swarg and comes back, then the Vedas say, look, if you want to realize God, then this is not going to help. So that is what is karma. On the other side, the second is vikarma. What is vikarma? It is wrong actions. Vikarma is where we break the rules of the scriptures. So the scriptures are telling us how to move from tamogun to rajagun to sattvagun, the mode of goodness. And vikarma means do as your senses say. Do as your mind says. The vikarmi says, these people who wake up early in the morning, they are crazy. They say, get up early 2 hours before sunrise and do your sandhya vandhan and your puja and sadhana. I wake up at 9 a.m. in the morning. And then I have bed tea in my bed. And then I smoke a cigarette and go to the toilet. And in the toilet, I read the newspaper and magazine. So those people who say that there is no need for rules, they come in the category of vikarma. The Lord Krishna says, Arjun, you do need to understand vikarma. This karma takes you to the celestial abode, Swarga Kamo Yajit, and vikarma will take you downwards. Asurim yonimapanna mudha janmani janmani mama prapyaiva kaunteya tato yantya dhamangatim. Punyena punyalokam nayati papena papam ubhabhyameva manushyalokam. Very simple formula. There was this Rani, queen of the ancient days. She used to live in great opulence. Rajas and Ranis of yore. So she used to have a wonderful luxurious room with a wonderful bed. Now her maid servant used to set her bed up every day. And on this evening she set up the bed, very soft cotton mattress, and on top of that a silken sheet, and on top of that flower petals, and then some perfume sprinkled around. And that poor lady started thinking, how much happiness will the queen be getting from sleeping on this bed? I wish I could also do it. She used to sleep on the charpai. So she looked at the clock. There was still half an hour for the Rani to come. She went and closed the door. She thought she has closed it, but it did not close properly. And she went and lay down on the bed. Now, when somebody gets a pleasure, opulence for the first time, they experience great happiness in it. Later on, it becomes commonplace. So she experienced so much of bliss that in 3 minutes she went to sleep. Now when she is sleeping, then which king and which queen, the whole chapter is closed. The Rani came. She opened the door. and she found her Naukarani in the bed, snoring. So the Rani was indignant. My servant is doing this. She has the guts. She called the guards, take her away and whip her 50 lashes. So her instruction is the command. That poor lady was dragged away and they started whipping her. She kept on yelling every time she was beaten by till 25 lashes. At the 26th, she suddenly started laughing. The people asked, what happened? Everybody stood up. The queen also found it astonishing. She said that by now you should have fainted. Why are you laughing? The Naukarani said, Rani Sahiba, I was laughing because I slept on this bed for half an hour and the punishment I got was 50 lashes. You have been sleeping on it all your life. What punishment will you get? Because at the end of life, when you have to account for your sins, it is not a question of let this queen come. It's a question of the Jivatma. Yamarajji says, did you do this? Yes, I did it. Did you do this? Yes. All right then, here are the results. Yamarajji, I'm very, very sorry. Hey, this will not do. You should have thought at that time. So, the vikarma results in miseries in the lower forms of existence. And the karma results in a gradual elevation from tamogun to rajagun to sattvagun. But the purpose of God realization is not served by either. So the third now comes akarma. Akarma is when you do your bodily duties without attachment to the results. You offer the results for the pleasure of God. Now the karma is being done, but the inner thought is, it is all for the pleasure of my Lord. Since there is no selfish motive, one is freed from the consequences, and that becomes akarma. Akarma, another name for it is karma yoga. So Lord Krishna has now explained karma, vikarma and karma, akarma or karma yoga.